Hi, Sarah here. How you all doing? Whew, it's been a hot old week, hasn't it? I just got back from Malta. Went out to see my partner and catch up with some friends and to just take in the energies of the solstice. As I've said before, I really don't do big ceremony type stuff anymore. I just feel it's I don't know, it just doesn't resonate anymore. I think I'd much rather just gather with a small group of friends and we just sit and take in the energy and share the things that are going on with us, and what we might have discovered, what we're feeling about the energy right now and how things are changing, how timelines are shifting, that kind of stuff. So that for me is how it's working at the moment. I don't feel I want to go to temples or any of that stuff. I just think we're kind of moving on from that type of organized retreat type scenario now. Anyway, my time out in Malta was lovely. It's chaotic and mad and dusty and cranes everywhere, and being actually on Malta is just chaotic and not my favorite place, but that's where my partner lives, so I get to spend quite a lot of time there. But I also go over to Gozo to catch up with my friends, and there I feel the energy is much more potent than on Malta, despite all the temples and what have you on Malta. Nidra and Hajaim are beautiful, beautiful temples, but it's just, I feel as if the energy's been capped there. But I think I've spoken about this before, so I tend not to go anymore. But I had a lovely time with my two besties, and we put the world to rights and talked about lots of different topics, and just the energies of what's going on, and sharing things like I've just kind of rediscovered frankincense. It's a resin taken from the Boswellia tree, I think it is, in Somalia and places, where they collect the resin, and that pure resin they then I think it's distilled through steam and stuff, and then they collect the essential oils from it, and it's a really potent essential oil. And the reason I kind of tapped into this again is because I've been reading up and listening to stuff about the Knights Templar, who are very much associated with Malta. It was one of their strongholds, apart from parts of Spain and France, obviously, where they started. Malta was a huge stronghold of the Knights, and there's very much evidence of their presence all over the islands. And I'm feeling as if that's coming back up into our awareness, if you like. I've really spent a lot of time in the temples and what have you, but now I'm feeling as if the energy of the Knights is really coming to the forefront for us to kind of work with. And they really prized frankincense, and they used to put it in that dip in the back of your neck in order to connect you to your higher self, to open up the pathways for communication with spirit, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, probably God in their case, that they believed in the Christian idea of God. And they used it also for medicinal things. So it's, in a diluted form, you can put it straight onto your skin for things like arthritis, aches and pains. that kind of thing, and has hundreds of uses, which I'm not going to go into here because I'm not a homeopath or a herbalist, but you can look that stuff up yourself. But it was just the spirit of this frankincense that so has captured my imagination at the moment. And obviously in the story of Jesus's birth, frankincense and myrrh were very much a part of the gifts that the kings brought. And frankincense and myrrh used together are super powerful as well. And obviously gold, because that not in a monetary sense, but because of the power of gold, if you like, and the Knights Templar, being the alchemists that they are, were able to make gold from, well, I'm not quite sure how they did it, but they used manna, which I believe is something that is secreted in an alchemical process, and they were able to make gold, and that's what the Ark of the Covenant was covered in, this magical gold. Anyway, I digress. I just wanted to just say that, this is what I feel Malta is holding for me now. It's not so much about the temples and the goddess energy and all of that. It's much more about how we can alchemize our lives into a different way of being. I think we're shifting timelines at an alarming rate. According to the astrologist, July is about to... If June hasn't been challenging enough for you, and it has for me, I can tell you, I'd really quite like it to calm down a little bit. But thinking, just resonating with things on a different level, I think, is what's happening to me and certainly my friends, is that it's less about the old way of working with energies. I think it's much more to do with alchemizing our own... I don't even know how to describe it. Actually, I had a very weird experience in Malta as well, which again was maybe associated with this frankincense oil that I've been putting on the back of my neck. As I said, it kind of opens you up to seeing things from a different perspective. And what happened was, I was lying on the rocks. I'd gone for a swim, and I was lying on the rocks just looking out at the blue sky, and I had this experience that I was not the body I am in. And really what I'm trying to say is that I was looking through my eyes at the blue sky. There was nothing between me and this blue. And it was almost like, having thought about it quite a lot since the occasion, it was like I was looking through a mask. On a mask you have the holes cut out for your eyes, but it was like I was looking through a mask, that my face wasn't mine. And I think what I've established is that it was just showing me the witness, the observer within us all, the higher self that is separate from this body that is Sarah. That it was just showing me that difference between the human mind and the spirit mind. It was very profound. It lasted for a couple of seconds, and then that sensation had gone. But it was very powerful, and I do think it was connected to the fact that I've been using frankincense. So anyway, that was my experience. I thought I'd share with you. Today I am cutting back the mugwort and the wormwood to dry, because it's just taken over my garden. Let this be a warning to you that if you let them self-seed, they go mad. But anyway, it's, you know, I'm going to dry the leaves and then either make dream pillows from them, or I could use it as a smudge herb, or even smoke it. Actually, I have smoked it before, not to inhale, but in my sacred pipe I use mugwort, dried mugwort. So this is one I haven't cut back yet, and I've just cut back this big one here, which is, as you can see, on the floor, ready for me to take the leaves off. I mean, they're huge this year. I mean, please excuse my garden, it's totally overgrown. I go away for 10 days and it's like a jungle. I'm not complaining because all the bees are very happy, but I need to get it under control. I've got some sticks here ready to take on the medicine doll circle I'm holding in a couple of weeks. That's some mugwort, wormwood. It's a paler, more silvery leaf, and I've got some further on around the garden as well, which is absolutely huge. So that's my job for the day, sitting in the shade, taking the leaves off this, and then putting them on some chicken wire, and I'll put that out in the sun and they can dry, and then I can bag them up, make some little bags for them. It's very hot in my medicine shed today, so I'm sitting outside. Okay, hope you have a lovely day. Try and keep cool. It'll be raining soon, so should make the most of this lovely weather. It seems to me that nothing in the UK works unless it's sort of 14 degrees, slight drizzle, and a slight breeze. Otherwise, everything shuts down. Trains don't work. The council hasn't been to pick up all my bulky waste that's been sitting on the road for the last 6 weeks. Ugh, makes me mad. Anyway, enough of that. Have a lovely day. See you all soon. Ciao for now.